Hello everyone, this is Brain Smasher, and you are awesome for watching this video. Thanks for joining me again. This is going to be another collection update, back to the grind. We're going to be listening to a band here called Kalmantankaya. This is a band from Finland. This album is on Wolfspell Records, and it's called Tifis, I suppose. Really cool digipack. A good friend of mine sent me this CD, and I've really been enjoying it. It's very, very reminiscent of Katatonia's Brave Murder Day. Maybe just kind of a little bit more in the black metal format of things. So I hope you like listening to that as we talk about metal. I got a couple of things in the last couple of days, so we will start with, oh fuck, this album rules. This is Crucifist, Demon Haunted World. You might recognize that from a Carl Sagan book. A couple of videos ago, Eric Bauer was doing a video and he was playing this album in the background, and I didn't think much of it, but I just kept getting distracted by the riffs while he was talking, and I was just like, fuck, I know he's talking about stuff, but the riffs just killed me. Anyway, I wound up listening to this album and it fucking slays. It's super underrated. Nobody fucking talked about this. It came out in 2008 on Profound Lore. I was able to pick this up on Discogs for $5. I highly recommend you do the same. It's just amazing fucking riffs. It's just like sloppy, slimy, dirty, grimy, kind of thrashy black metal. I don't know if I would really compare it to anything all that much. It's not all that original, but it's just fucking nasty and super fun to listen to. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like this kind of thing more belongs on Hell's Headbangers than Profound Lore. I don't know why they wound up putting it out, but definitely give this a listen. It's fucking so much fun to listen to. So thanks, Eric, for turning me on to that. So I finally picked that up on Discogs. Next we have, this is going to be one of my favorite albums of the year. This is Lycus's, is it Chasms? Yeah, Chasms. Came out on Relapse this year, really early, I think in January. So it's, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's all that original either, but it's just the kind of thing done really fucking well. Super atmospheric, kind of doomy sludge. I think these guys are from California and share members with like Dispirit, which is a really killer band too. Really nice packaging on this. Picked this up for cheap on Discogs as well. Highly recommend you pick that up. Super atmospheric and droney and just kind of heady. So next, so this is a band I've been kind of nuts about for many years. I discovered them when they were on a compilation, actually a tribute to Emperor, and a friend of mine's band was on that tribute to Emperor. And he sent me a copy of the tribute, and this band just like stood out for me because they do a really great job of covering Emperor, and they sound quite a bit like early Emperor. Of course, I'm talking about Darkenhold. This album is their newest. It's called Castellum, and this was one of my favorites of last year. And this one is called Echoes from the Stonekeeper, and this came out in 2012. But this was reissued with bonus, an old EP, and a cover of Emperor's Ancient Queen, which I believe is from that tribute. Super fucking talented band from France. It's really reminiscent of 90s black metal, totally in the vein of Emperor. If you're into Emperor and you haven't heard Darkenhold, definitely get on this fucking album. Castellum is amazing, symphonic, orchestral kind of stuff. I really love this band, and I'm happy to finally have this. I ordered both of these from Ominous Domain. I fucking love that distro. They just ship things right quick. They have really good prices. Super cool distro. Where is that? They sent me this, and they also send you these bracelets. I am black metal. Well, yeah, I might be, but I might not be, but I'm not going to be wearing that anytime soon. Anyways, so I also ordered from them the new In the Woods album called Pure. This, as everybody knows, is their reunion album or something. And I really love In the Woods. So I decided to pick this up without having heard it whatsoever. I didn't check out any of the previews of it. I don't really know much about even what it's like. I haven't heard much about what the response has been to it, so I'm looking forward to check it out. This came in the mail today, so we're going to give it a good solid chance. I feel like it's a pretty good, its odds are pretty good that it's going to be pretty awesome. So on to the CDs alphabetically. Last time we left off in the early C's, Cancer I believe it was. So next we are at Candlemass, Epicus Doomicus Metallicus. This is the first album with a different singer than they are known for having. And I personally love the vocals on this album. And the album itself is a timeless metal classic, indisputable fucking just cornerstone of what metal is. This came out in 1980. Ooh boy, I'm gonna fuck this up. 6 maybe? I don't know. The thing is, with Candlemass, I'm not a huge Candlemass fan like I feel like everyone but me is. I definitely love this album quite a bit. I've listened to it a shitload in my car. But after that album, they got Messiah as a singer. And I'm not going to point the finger at Messiah because I can't necessarily put my finger on why I don't really like listening to Candlemass other than this album. I just can't figure out what it is. It's not necessarily my kind of thing, and I wouldn't necessarily say that there's anything wrong with their music. It's just not the kind of thing that I listen to all that often. There's Ancient Dreams and all those albums I know. So I just, maybe I'm listening to the wrong albums. I feel like I've listened to quite a few of them. I did, however, enjoy King of the Great Island. Now, I'm a pretty big fan of Robert Lowe, from Solitude Aeternus, and this is the first album that he sang on with Candlemass, King of the Great Islands. A lot of people dog on this album, but I think it's just because Messiah left the band. I think this album deserves a pretty good shot for anyone who's a diehard Candlemass fan. I hear there's a demo version of this album with Messiah on vocals, if that's your thing, and I think it's on some compilation box set that came out a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's always been kind of a weird thing with me with Candlemass. It's like, I try to listen to those albums post Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, and I just always wind up turning it off, and I don't know why. It just bugs me. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. I've just never really been able to, and I can't put my finger on it, so shoot me. Anyways, next is Canis Dearus. This is a friend of mine's band. This is Todd from a former label called Goddess Myth. This is his black metal band with the dude from Ars Magna Recordings on doing the music. There they are. There's Todd and what's his name, Rob, I want to say. But this is really cool atmospheric black metal. Came out on Moribund. Really cool vocals. Picked this up used at Cheapo a couple of years ago, I want to say. Oh, here's the asshole. Hi, I'm doing a video. You're interrupting. Next is Cannibal Corpse. I've got Eaten Back to Life, Tomb of the Mutilated, original. I picked this up a couple of years ago, I want to say. Used. And I also accidentally bought 2 copies of that one time. And I've got The Bleeding. Of course, you know Cannibal Corpse. I'm not going to talk that much about them. This is the censored version. Oh, shit. They're gory death metal, and they're pretty good. I don't really listen to them all that often, but they're just kind of one of those must-have kind of bands. I wouldn't really say they were instrumental in the early times of me getting into metal either. When it came to death metal, in my early days, it was like Carcass, stuff like that, Gorefest. So yeah, Cannibal Corpse has never really been a band I've been huge on, but they're pretty good. Their albums are pretty fun to listen to when you feel like it. So this is a band I've already talked about for a second when I got it a couple of months ago, but I fucking love this record. This is one of my favorites of the year. Cantique Le Préau, the French-Canadian band from Quebec, I think. definitely an amazing atmospheric black metal band. It's been a while since I listened to this too. When I first got it, I kind of played the shit out of it, and I've kind of forgot about it since I've been getting in so much other stuff since then. But this is a really, really, really good album that I think I'm going to be loving for many years to come. Next is a band that I talked about a few videos ago, Captain Beefheart. This is Trout Mask Replica, the Essential album. This is a super interesting album produced by Frank Zappa. It's a really timeless record of just strange, super intricate, progressive, skronky, crazy, drug-induced hippie music from the late 60s. Now these I picked up used a couple of years ago just because they were cheap, and I'm not that big of a fan of his Magic Band years. And Beefheart isn't something I listen to all the time, really, and when I do, it's pretty much Ice Cream for Crow or Trout Mask Replica. These are a little bit too hippie jam band kind of stuff for me, kind of like Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention stuff. I'm not really into that kind of stuff either. That's like 60s and 70s kind of music for me. Usually just doesn't really do much for me. So next, oh man, I haven't listened to this in forever. This is Captain Cleanoff. This is a self-titled EP that came out on a killer label called No Escape. This is probably about 10 years old. Just fucking balls to the wall grindcore. I really love the vocals, and there's a lot of good samples on this. Definitely check that out if that's your kind of thing. I guess I would say it would be kind of like 324, kind of like Hemorrhage, just, you know, super short songs, slidey, stupid chords, blast beats, insane vocals, fun band. And they put out an album 1 or 2 years ago that was really good, full length, and it was the first time that I had heard anything out of them since this EP, or maybe this is actually like a demo. It was the first time I had checked in on them in like 10 years, and they were still like dead fucking on, killing it. So it was really cool to hear that they were so consistent throughout the years. Next, okay, so this is a bunch of CDs from a band. Do you have any guesses? It's gonna be Carcass, Peel Sessions. These songs I want to say are from Symphonies of Sickness. This is just kind of a weird release. There's only 5 fucking songs on here. So yeah, I don't really listen to this that often. It's just something I picked up, I think, from a friend many moons ago. This came out on BBC, Strange Fruit. So that's the Peel Sessions. Next, let's see, we'll go with Symphonies of Sickness. Super fucking killer album. Of course, you better have heard Carcass, especially their early stuff. I'm not really into their new shit, that reinvention of Steel Pantera shit or whatever. This is where it's at. Symphonies of fucking Sickness. This is kind of an original version of it. It's got Reek of Putrefaction as a bonus on it. It came out on Combat and Earache in 1989. I found this in a used bin at a store not too long ago, so I was super surprised to find it, because before I picked it up, I had only had this shit-ass version. You know, these reissues came out on Earache in the late 90s, and they just look like garbage. They wanted to censor the artwork on them. I'm really happy that we've moved as a society past the days where we have to look at stuff like this in lieu of stuff like this. We can handle this kind of gore. Don't worry about it. I'm a grown-up. Anyway, so this is the censored version of Reek of Putrefaction. There's really no point to me having it since it's on this, but whatever. So Carcass was one of my favorite bands when I was first getting into metal. And then, oh yeah, okay. And so it was, you know, Symphonies of Sickness, Reek of Putrefaction, and Necroticism that were just super played out to me when I was first getting into metal. I listened to Necroticism over and over and over and over and over again in my car in my college years. Wore the shit out of that tape. This is a reissue version that came out a couple of years ago. It comes with DVD. Yeah, so this series of reissues is kind of cool. They each come with like, let's see, a couple of bonus tracks. Some of them are like remastered. Like this is Heartwork. Also, I fucking love this album. It's kind of like a different band, honestly, to me. But another killer band or album. Just amazing riffs. This is the first one. Was it the first one? No, Mike Emmett played on this one too. But the addition of Mike Emmett, I do feel like was a good move for them. But yeah, anyway, these are two of my favorite Carcass records. Heartwork is just one of those albums you just play air guitar to and just headbang along with all fucking day. This is Wake Up and Smell the Carcass. This is like a compilation of old artwork material. And this is band artwork. You can't even handle looking at this JFK with his head blown off. Holy shit, guys. You better go tell your mommy that Brain Smasher showed you some brains. So anyway, I love Carcass. You better fucking love Carcass. I just want to take a minute to say I really appreciate all the comments you guys put on my videos, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to share my love of metal, and hopefully you get something out of it. So thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate all the time that you spend watching me ramble on about the world's worst music. It's kind of a funny thing, but I enjoy watching you guys do it too. So with that said, we'll see you next time.